2 units left and 4 units down. So g of x, the reflection across the x-axis means that the in front of the function we're going to put a negative, okay? Horizontal compression, that's your b. And remember, it's the reciprocal of 1/3, so we're going to put 3. And then it went left 2 units, so we're going to put x plus 2, because remember that's h, which is also counterintuitive. And then that's cubed, and then it went down 4 units, minus 4. So that equation right there represents exactly what it says on 16. And I just went step by step and did each parameter. I input each parameter based on what it says. Okay, 17, the same parent function, x cubed. And this time we're stretching vertically by a factor of 4. So remember, stretching vertically is a. So the equation would look like this. And for a, you do what it says. And then 2 units up and 3 units right. Okay, so remember, we do it doesn't matter that up was written before right. Up and down is still k, and left and right is still h. So it's going to be 3 units right and then 2 units up. So that would be the equation right there. Okay, so this one, domain is all reals. So remember, this is how you write all reals in with interval notation. For the end behaviors, I'll do the range at the end. Okay, for the end behaviors, I look at all the x's with the a included, this one, this one, this one. So that gives me negative 2x cubed when I multiply all those 3 together. So this tells me that this the degree is odd, the a is negative, so it's going to be a up-down. It's going to be an up-down. So I'll put up, down for the end behavior. The range, because the arrows point in opposite directions, the range is also all reals. Okay, so domain, again, it's a polynomial, so it's going to be all reals. I can use any value for x. The end behavior, I'm going to look at 2x and x squared, so that's 2x cubed, because it's 2x times x squared. And so that one is odd with an a positive, so this is a down up. So because the ends are going in opposite directions, then we know that the range is also all reals, because the arrows point up and point down. Okay, number 20, again, it's a polynomial, so the degree, all real numbers. End behavior, because this is x squared, it's going to go up, up. It's actually a parabola. It goes up, up. And then for the range, well, the vertex of this parabola is -1, -3. So the lowest point is -3, because it opens up like that. And this point is -1, -3. So the range would be from -3 to infinity, positive infinity. It includes a -3, so it has a bracket. Okay, so number 21 has, use a different color, has 1, 2 turning points. And it does not have a global max or min, because the arrows indicate that it goes on up forever this way and down forever, so there is no global max or min, but this is a local max and this is a local minimum value. Okay, so it has one local max, one local min, no global max or global min, and 2 turning points. Okay, 22 has 1, 2 turning points. It has no global max or min because the arrows are going opposite directions, so there's no maximum point or minimum point in the graph. It does have a local min and it does have a local max. Okay, so this 123 has a 1 turning point. It has 1 global min, no global max, and no local max. Okay, so for the inverse of number 24, basically you're just taking your x's and your y's and you're switching them. So -1 goes here and 2 goes here, 0 here and 5 here, 3 here and 0 here, -8 and -2, 6 and -4. And that would be the inverse function. Okay, so for number 25, we're going to solve for x. And the first thing, whenever you have a quadratic, first thing you try to do is see if it factors. So first I'm going to put it in standard form. Move the 7x over, well, the -7x, which is now positive on the left side. So then you multiply these two, you get -30x squared. You look for factors of -30 that add up to +7, and so that would be +10x times -3x. That multiplies to give you -30, but adds up to give, and also adds up to give you +7. Now I do the box method. I find it easier for myself. I put the first, again, this comes down and this comes down, so I put the first term here, and then these two go here, and then the constant goes in the last box. Okay, just in order, you know, from left to right. So you take the greatest common factor of these two, that's 2x, and then something times 2x gives you 2x squared, that's x. Then something times 2x gives you 10x, that's 5. And then something times x gives you -3x, that's -3. So I've got x plus 5 times 2x minus 3. Now remember, we're solving. We're not just factoring, we're solving. So for the first one, x would have to be -5. For the second one, some of you may see it right off, but just by looking at it. But if you don't, you set that equal to 0, that other factor, and then you solve for x. So 2x is 3, divide by 2. So then the other x would be 3/2. And so there's the answer right there. Okay, find the roots is the same thing as find the solution. Okay, so find the roots, we're going to move the 9 over. And then factor. So because the a value right here is 1, it makes it a little bit easier. Less work. So factors of -9 that add up to -8 are -9 and 1. So I could just write x minus 9, x plus 1, and that works. So then x is 9 or -1. So we're looking for a function, a new function that represents this one with a vertical stretch by a factor of 4 and shifting to the right 2 units. Okay, so the h is 2, well actually -2, and then the a is 4. Okay, well I already have a 3, so I'll call the new function g of x, and I already have a 3 right here. But I've got to, in addition to that, I've got to stretch this one by a factor of 4, so that 3 is now 12. And then shifting it or translating it to the right 2 units, that would be x minus 2. And the 1 stays the same because it didn't move up or down. It just went right 2 and then a vertical stretch of 4, in addition to the 3 that was there. So that was that one. Okay, so for number 28, I have the function there with the reference points. So h is 2 and k is -3. So that means I'm going to add 2 to the x's and subtract 3 from the y's. So my new points are 1, negative 4, 2, negative 3, and 3, negative 2. Okay? Okay, so here's the graph, and I'm just going to plot the points. 1, negative 4, 2, negative 3, and 3, negative 2. So remember, it's not a line, although they lie on a straight line. The inflection point is the one in the middle. Curves out, and then down. Okay, so in this one, A is negative 3, H is 1, and K is 1. So the A and the K work together, they both affect the Y. And so the only thing affecting the X is the H, so we're going to add 1 here, and then I'll just show the steps for Y, for point Y. So, oops, sorry about that. So 1 minus 1 is 0. 1 plus 0, I'm just going down and doing the x's, and then 2. For the y's, I'm going to take negative 3, the a, times the y value, plus k. So negative 3 times 0 plus k, negative 3 times 1 plus 1, which is k. And so this gives me, let me erase this. Okay, so for 29, I'm going to just simplify. So negative 3, I'm looking here. Negative 3 times negative 3 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So the coordinates are 0, 4. And the next one, negative 3 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1, so we get 1, 1. And then for the last one, it's 2. Negative plus 1 is negative 2. So we plot the points 0, 4, 1, 1, and 2, negative 2. Remember, this is your inflection point right here. That's the where the curve changes direction. The negative in front of the 3 made it reflect over the x-axis, so the curve is going to go out this way and this way. And that's your graph. Okay, so for number 30, I've got H right here, K right here, and this is B. So B is actually horizontal stretch. Even though you see the 1/2, remember it is the reciprocal of B, so it's a stretch, a horizontal stretch. So the two parameters that are affecting X are B and H, and K is affecting the Y. So this is the only parameter affecting the Y. So I can just put plus 2 up here, and I know that all my Y's are going to be increased by 2. On the X, though, I'd rather just show the step. So remember, it's not 1/2, but 2. 2 times negative 1. Oops, what happened here? Okay, 2, I'm not going to erase, just think this is negative 1. H is 1, so we're going to do plus 1. And then 2 minus 1 for the Y would be 1.